Hey, what's up? I'm Ashley. Thank you for watching this video. And today, we're going to be talking about Cruel Summer Season 2, Episode 7, and let's get started. The events that are about to unfold take place on or around July 31st, 1999, December 31st, 1999, and July 31st, 2000. And we're going to start things off in the summer of 1999, where Megan is telling Isabella how embarrassed she is that Luke almost threw up in her face when they almost kissed, and how this may be a sign that they're not meant to be together, but he just can't hold his liquor. Look how skinny he is. But Isabella is telling her don't even worry about it and act like it never happened. Then we see Megan and Isabella cleaning up after the party. Then Luke pops up and don't even know why he came over there for, because Isabella cut him off and told him to start cleaning too. Get to work. So after they cleaned up everything, Luke says he has to go to the cabin to get it ready for the big storm that's coming. Then Isabella suggested that Megan go with him, but Megan's like, why I need to go for? I don't need to go. She can't get a clue, but Luke said it would be faster with two people. So after he said that, Megan went with Luke back to the cabin. When they get there, Megan finds these old walkie-talkies that they used to play with when they were kids. So they decide to go out in the woods and test them out. And when they're out there, they look like they might kiss, but things got a little awkward. So Megan says, I'll race you to the docks. And when they did that, they ended up splitting up. And that's when Luke ran into Ned. Luke got turned around and ended up on Ned's property. Ned noticed how bad Luke's walkie was breaking up. So he was like, here, give it to me. Let me fix it. So after he fixed it, he told him, I like my privacy and to make sure you stay on your own property. Luke looked a little nervous, but he went on about his way. Luke gets back to Megan. They talk a little bit about how things were bad when they were little. Then he tells her that he can't picture this world without her, and then admits to her that he remembers what happened at that party when they almost kissed, and then he has to run away and throw up. Then after that whole conversation is when they finally kissed for the first time. And that wraps up the summer of 1999 timeline. Now we're going to move on to winter of 1999. Megan asked Isabella how was the plunge. Isabella says it was cold and wet. Megan was looking for Isabella to tell her about that kiss with Luke, but Isabella wasn't even trying to tell her none of that. But she does tell her that her New Year's resolution is to start fresh and start things over, and to be less of a slob. Megan responds with, well, you do like it messy, don't you? And Isabella just walks away. Not me. Not me. I got something to say. We about to do a back and forth here, because what you trying to say to me? After that, Megan and Luke are shopping for the New Year's Eve party, and that's when Megan asked Luke what did he think Isabella was after when she kissed him, and that's when Luke claims that he don't know. He don't know nothing. But what he did say is that he thinks that Isabella is jealous and possessive, and Megan says, really? I never saw that. She's like, I never got that vibe from her. So that's when Luke decides to go on, take it up a little notch, and says he feels Isabella likes when him and Megan are in a rough place, because she can swoop in with her little cape and be super BFF. But do you think Isabella is jealous and possessive? Let me know in the comments. So while Luke was still in the store, Megan runs into Ned in the parking lot. When he saw her with that Y2K crown on her head, he put his finger in the air, started pointing it at her, and told her, this isn't a joke. This is not a joke. It's not a drill. And started shaking her like a salt shaker. That's when Luke runs up on him and pushes him away, talking about, get away from her. Leave her alone. But Ned got the best of him. He threw him up against the car and told him, you're just a spoiled loser. He said, you're just like your father. Then he says, you're going to get a harsh wake-up call, and it just might be your last. Ooh, he just only had a few more hours to live, too. But they try to make it seem like Ned could have been the one who killed him, but no, it wasn't. I don't think it was Ned. It's too obvious. And that was the end of that parking lot situation, but Megan is mad at Luke for getting into a fight with Ned. She's like, you don't need to protect me. Ned is my friend. He's harmless. But during this, Luke gets a message that the party can't happen at his friend's house anymore because his friend's parents came back early. But Luke is thinking that they can move the party to the cannery that his dad just bought. But his dad, Steve, heard about that situation that happened between him and Ned in the parking lot. So he made Luke come down to his job. That's when he chewed Luke up. and told him that his actions have consequences for the family. He don't want to be embarrassed. But what about Brent in them tapes? Brent didn't get in trouble, but Luke getting in trouble for this? Make it make sense. Cause it don't make none. All he had to do was tell Luke this over the phone. He didn't have to come down to his job to hear this in person. I don't trust him at all. He probably the one who killed his own son. Or had someone to do it because he's embarrassed of him. He probably know what's going on. And you know what? I think Brent could be guilty too. He probably killed his own brother. He was looking guilty this whole episode. Some of his facial expressions had guilty written all over it. And he decided to do something nice for once. He gave Luke the keys to the cannery so he can have that party. And I'm like, that's suspicious. That's weird. Why he being so nice for it? When you think of Brent, nice is not what you think of. Megan took a pregnancy test and it turned out that she was pregnant. So that's most likely where that blood did come from when we saw it on them sheets. So when we get to the party and Isabella asked her why she wasn't drinking, Megan had to make up a lie and said she drank too much already. Megan decides to confront Isabella about kissing Luke. That's when Isabella tells her, hold up now. I didn't kiss Luke. Luke kissed me. I wasn't trying to kiss on Luke. So Megan is confused. She's all like, why you never told me if this is true? And Isabella tells her, if I did, you never would have believed me anyway. She goes on to say, you always pick his side and that she never gives her the benefit of the doubt and walks away and leaves her standing there looking stupid. But Megan overhears Luke bragging to his friends about how he can juggle both Megan and Isabella and how he has them both wrapped around his finger. He was bragging about the sex tape and how he needs to get some practice in before college. After hearing this, Megan is livid and she storms back inside the party. That's when she meets Jeff, who's recording, of course, like always. He's going around asking people their New Year's resolution, and Megan tells him that hers is taking control of her own destiny. After that, she goes to find Isabella. Megan apologizes and tells her that she was right about Luke and that she's not going to let him get away with this. He's not getting off easy. She says, I want to get some serious payback. I want to make Luke wish he never met the both of us. And from the look on Isabella's face, she was all about this. But one thing to point out is Megan said to Isabella, how can he do this to me now? Meaning, I'm pregnant. We didn't see her tell Isabella this right then and there, but that's what I think Megan was thinking. I'm pregnant and he's playing the both of us. Oh, hell no. So for some reason, I'm feeling like Isabella probably helped Megan get rid of that baby. But y'all let me know what y'all think. And also, that whole conversation that they just had, Jeff got it on tape. Of course he did. Of course he did. And I think this will end up coming out again later. But part of Megan's master plan was to go up to Luke at the party and tell him, let's go out, get some fresh air for a little bit, do a little something. And you already know Luke was bout it. But during this whole thing, when Megan is like, let's get out of here, let's get it on, he's like, where's Isabella? Of course he said that. I think Luke has always liked Isabella more than he liked Megan. But that was the end of that timeline. Now we're moving on to summer of 2000. That's when Megan's lawyer comes to the house and tells her that she's officially been charged and they have to go down to the station. Since Steve wanted to hire his own private investigator to find out Luke's killer, that's how they found out she's a hacker for hire and she's been working with Ned. And we see Steve telling Brent all of this. He goes on to say how much he thinks Ned is unhinged and how they've been having this back and forth battle over property lines and how he thinks that he killed Luke. But Brent is like, are you sure? What makes you think that he killed Luke? And he's like, that whole scuffle that they had in the parking lot. He's trying to pull something out of anywhere. But during this whole conversation, Brent's facial expressions were off and they were looking kind of guilty, as if maybe he was feeling a little bad for Ned and his dad thinking that it was him when really it wasn't. He probably knows who it was, or it was probably him. Then we find out Megan wasn't charged for Luke's death, but for fraud. She got a misdemeanor because of that time when she made those fake IDs. She's begging her lawyer to do something, but he's like, I can't do nothing. You did it. You're lucky you was a minor when you did it too. But Megan is worried about losing her scholarship. But Megan runs into Jeff and he tells her that he's going on a road trip to college. He asks her when was she leaving for college and she tells him that she doesn't think that's going to happen anymore since she got busted for making those fake IDs. Jeff apologizes and he tells her that it's his fault because when he got caught trying to buy beer with that fake ID, he told the police who made it. He threw Megan right on under that bus, but Megan tells him, "You snitched on me when I've been keeping your secret this whole time?" We found out some episodes back that he was buying his camera equipment in some kind of a sketchy way, but we never found out how. I guess that was the secret that she's been keeping. I don't know. Brent did something else out of the ordinary. He gave Megan a heads up that his dad hired a PI and that he knows that she's been working with Ned. Megan tries to defend Ned. So that's when Brent told her Ned has stolen money from his employer before. But not only that, he also assaulted his boss and put him in the hospital. They just coming for Ned. So Megan goes over Ned's house and she asked him for help with this whole ID thing. She was asking him if he's able to just wipe her name out of the system as if this thing never happened. But he was like, "No, I can't take anything like that out the system. But hey, you don't need school anyway." She's like, "Yeah, I do." After that is when she lets Ned know that Steve is investigating him and how they found out that he assaulted and stole from his boss. But Ned said, "You can't steal something that wasn't yours to begin with." Ned got mad. He was like, "He want to investigate me? Okay, I'm going to investigate him." So I feel like he going to find something on Steve. It's going to be juicy too. But Megan notices all of Ned's security cameras. And with the security cameras, she sees that Steve is pulling up. So she's panicking. She's like, "I can't be here. He can't see me here." So Ned tells her to sneak out the back door. And when she does that, she runs into Brent. Brent looks a little upset with her, but he lets her go. So why is he being so nice? That's what I want to know. Steve gonna get enough of pulling up to people's houses uninvited. He already did it to Debbie, and now he doing it to Ned. But Steve tells Ned that he thinks that he killed Luke because maybe Luke found out about him doing illegal things. But Ned says, "Get off my property." Ned cocked his gun and said, "Take your kid and your threats out of here before it gets ugly." But Ned looked a little nervous. He was looking like he didn't want to shoot any of them and was just hoping that they would just leave. And that's what they ended up doing. Brent been ready to get out of there, though. He was trying to tell his dad, "Come on, get out of here." But Steve was like, "Don't touch me." He gonna end up getting himself killed. But the timeline ends with Megan getting a call from her principal letting her know that her scholarship needs to be reset. So pretty much she done lost her scholarship over that whole fake ID mess. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode down in the comments so we can talk about it. And if you haven't already and want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.